Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on the movies. And today I have to do this task that I really wasn't happy about doing. But this is 25 actors who are living and 25 actresses who are living who I would like to see work with Marco on some kind of project. And most of the time, I have an idea of what they could do. And a few times I'm just not really sure, but I would like to see them work together. So I tried my best to figure out something for everyone, but I think there was just a few that I just didn't know what, because they've been in so many things. They have so many. They have such a range that they can do all kinds of different projects, whether it be drama or comedy.
I know I can.
And I think Marco actually is very flexible, can do anything. And he would put everything he had into it. And while I think he would really rather make movies, he wouldn't mind being in some real acting jobs, not like this phony who, I'm not going to say his name, going out and gathering money from the public and making these worthless movies that are terrible.
Yeah, you have to pay him to act.
Haven't even come out yet.
You have to pay him.
Yeah, you have to pay him if you want to act, and that's like a scam. They always warn you about that. You get some kind of offer, well, if you pay to do this, you can have whatever or do whatever, and that's usually a scam, and that is exactly what he does. And people fall for it all the time, and he makes movies, and he offers perks. So if you pay some amount of money, whatever it would be, you get this perk. You might be in the movie. You might get your name at the end of the closing credits that you were a supporter, or all kinds of stuff. And then usually, we know for a fact, at least one person, they did not even spell his name right, and he was very disappointed. I mean, some of these people, they don't expect any great thing, but at least get their name right. So that's all somewhere else in another world.
We're splitting this video in half because Safi, she spent a lot of time on it, which was funny because she said at first she was going to sabotage me. She was going to put Margot Robbie and you know
whatever
who.
Her name is hers. I don't even know what the person is now. Ellen Page. I think that was her originally, and now I think she's a boy. But I think I can't remember her name's Elliot. I don't know, and I don't care.
Yeah,
I wasn't really that enthused by the person's whatever they were in anyway.
I thought at first she was pretty good. Like
maybe she was.
She started out in Trailer Park Boys, and
really?
And an actor from the show was the one who pushed for her, and I thought she was pretty good at first, but then she got so far into political agendas, and then she became a he, and it's like, okay.
And that isn't anything mild or easy. I mean, I can't imagine anybody doing that. Surgeries and the drugs, and it just sounds gross to me. And just because of what you're doing to yourself. I mean, I had to take a chemotherapy drug for about 10 years, and that, it's taking a powerful drug or drugs and then having surgery to boot. I mean, it's just awful on the body.
Yeah, you said you were going to sabotage me, and you were going to choose agendas.
I decided not to do that because...
Good.
We'll say, too, that it was a lot easier with the men. And the reason why is because I'm more familiar with the work by these people. And the women is a problem because some of them just don't have that big of parts. I didn't know really a lot of them. I don't even know who they are. I've never seen them before. I've never watched anything they've been in, and they don't. I just don't see some of it. Their parts are so light and thin, and there just isn't much substance to it. So it's like forgettable, and that sounds mean and terrible, but really it's very hard to think of a story or something that you could put Marco in with them to do something when you're very unfamiliar with their abilities because they haven't really had the chance, or maybe they can't show their abilities and have a wide range. Maybe they don't, maybe they do, but you just haven't had the opportunity. And there's a lot of them I haven't had the opportunity to see their abilities, and I can't even imagine nowadays picking, doing a movie and picking these known people who are on. They have this IMDb list of actors and actresses.
There's lots of lists. I mean, this is one somebody made by themselves, I guess.
Oh, okay, but I don't know how they do it. I mean, there are some, we've seen evidence where they have really good casting, I don't know what you call it, agents, directors. Well, they pick out entire cast, and they do a really fantastic job. You know, just
sometimes
everybody meshes together. But we've seen evidence that it does work, that it can work. But I just don't envy anybody with that job because, I mean, there's so many people out there, and then you have this agenda thing that has to be inserted into everything that you do, which really screws everything up, I believe.
Yeah, it's like a
if
fad.
You can't just have it natural.
It's an irrelevant fad.
Yeah, it's a trend or a fad or whatever, but it won't last. That's a thing, and I know that because I'm old enough to see how trends and fads go away. They don't stay forever. So let me start then. We do the men first. So it's 25 men. They're not in any order. So
yeah, I was gonna have her rank them, but she almost had a heart attack.
I was gonna kill Marco. Okay, my first one's Bryan Cranston, and of course he's just really good at everything he does. Marco is actually watching him in the second season of Your Honor right now, and he just seems to be good at comedy or drama. And I think Marco, even though he's older, I think Marco would really enjoy being in something with him. And so,
no, this is who you would enjoy seeing.
Yeah, but I also think you would. My next one is Robert Downey Jr., and he's just so talented. And I think it'd be fun to see Marco in a mystery with him, or I was thinking Marco could be a new Marvel character. I would like to invent a Marvel character that Marco would be.
I would never be.
Would really fit, and he would be. Robert Downey Jr. would introduce him to the Marvel world. So that would be. I just think that would be a great idea, or just a mystery, because Robert Downey Jr. has played, I think, Sherlock Holmes, and those are pretty good. And next one is because of what I just had to watch, that horrible movie, but like I said, as a whole, it's okay. Superbad, that Jonah Hill. Although Marco says he's kind of gone downhill as of late.
Jonah Hill has gone downhill.
In terms of doing roles that just aren't that great. But he is capable of doing a lot of things. He puts all his effort into it. And either a comedy or a drama, I think Marco could do either one. My next one is, this might be a surprise to everybody, but I think Marco likes him, and he's a very pleasant person, and he's a happy, well, it seems happy, and he's just laid back, because his family they live like, his parents were like hippies, and they moved around. David Arquette, And, we've seen him in Scream, and he's played Dewey. And we were very sad when Dewey got knocked off in the last Scream movie, or one of the last ones. But I think a movie with David Arquette would be, even though he's older too, I think it'd be nice if he was in a movie with him. It'd be fun. It'd probably be either a horror movie or a comedy. My next one, I had to look him up because I forgot his name. It's been a while since I've seen him. He was in this zombie movie, and I can't think of what it was called, but we saw a couple of them, and he's British, and he makes Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise now. I don't know if he's still doing it, but...
You're talking about Simon Pegg.
Yes, I am. Simon Pegg,
Oh, God.
who I think is really interesting, and he's British. And I think it'd be fun if Marco made a zombie movie with Simon Pegg about Hollywood. In other words, people in Hollywood, actors and actresses, would be turning into zombies.
Wow.
And they would have to stop what was going on.
I think they've already done that, though.
Oh, they have?
No, they've already been becoming zombies.
Oh. And then another one is kind of hooked on to Robert Downey Jr., if you're talking about Marvel.
Oh,
It
God.
would be Chris Evans.
Oh.
And he seems like a very pleasant, very nice, genial person. And I think it'd be fun if Marco was in a Marvel movie with him, but I guess he's not doing... somebody took his place doing what he was doing. I don't know. I don't understand all that. It just... And it changes that, what they do, and there's politics, and that's just really weird. But he just seems like a fun, nice person to act in a movie with. So, Chris Evans. So, and my next one is number 7, Bob Odenkirk. And he is so funny. We've seen him in comedy shows. We have seen him in wasn't he in Fargo, and he played a sheriff.
Yeah, that was season 1.
And that was a more serious role. It wasn't too serious, but it wasn't comical. And he just seems like a really fun person to be with. And I thought Mark could be in a great comedy show or comedy drama or anything, because it'd just be fun to work with him, even though he's older. In fact, most of these people are older.
Yeah, you said you could not find people my age
No.
to be with me.
No, not really.
Unless they're women.
They're like, no, they really aren't. They're like your brother's age, maybe some of them. But
Yeah.
for the most part, there really isn't anybody around your age who I would, I just don't see it. I wouldn't want it, because I just don't think that they have enough, they aren't, I don't know, they just don't appeal to me. How about that? Okay, next one is Henry Cavill. And,
What's he going to introduce me into the DC universe? Even though he's gone.
I think it'd be fun if Marco played an evil nemesis who faced Henry Cavill as some kind of, he's some kind of good guy, superhero, but not. It'd be a different, new character and a new storyline that could connect on to other shows. In other words, it would have multiple seasons.
Oh.
And
Because
because he's done, he can't do Superman anymore.
better not overstay its welcome, though.
And he can't do that other thing. He was in some other show. They just ended it.
The Witcher.
Yeah,
No, they have not ended it. What they're
he's
doing
not in
is
it.
they're recasting him,
Oh.
even though he's not Superman, and they're going to have it go on for like 3 more seasons,
Huh.
even though no one wants it anymore.
Huh. Okay, well then, so he needs to have something to do, and he's perfectly capable of doing.
He is going to be
anything.
doing a Warhammer series for Amazon,
Oh.
which he's executive producing.
Really? And then the next one is Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt is from Missouri. and went to I think he went to Southwest Missouri State, so it'd be a University of Missouri down in the southern area, like what is it? What would it be? Springfield or down in the like past the Ozarks. He's from Missouri. When he did that Hollywood video, he was so much like people I grew up with. Wasn't even funny. I think it'd be fun to do a movie with him. We just saw him in Bullet Train, and he was really good. I really like him, and I think Marco would have fun doing a movie with him. And then the next one is Bill Hader, and he is just the most excellent comedian. He's one of my most favorite comedians. In SNL, he played all these characters, and they were really good. And I miss him. He was in Superbad. I didn't even know that. It was a young Bill Hader. And unbelievably, he is from the state of Oklahoma. He has no Oklahoma accent. You would never know he was from Oklahoma. And he is just really, he is so good. And I think Marco would love to be in some kind of comedy with him. He could learn a lot from him because he's just natural. He's just really good at it. And I have to check my, okay, nothing. All right, next one is Aaron Paul, and he's one, I'm not really sure what to be in with him. I think he's extremely talented. I loved him as Jesse in Breaking Bad, and I'll never forget. I mean, he was just so unique.
And in the X-Files.
Yes, he was in the X-Files, and he's just really, he's unique and interesting, and I think Marco could be in a drama or a comedy, but I don't think Aaron Paul was really that big of a comedian.
Oh, what's the plot? What's the plot of the drama?
Something about like moving to a new city and adjusting to being living in an apartment.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's the one. I have another one like that for the female actress.
Uh-oh.
The next one is Hugh Jackman.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know. They've had this big discussion. Now it's been tabled, or it's been on the down low. I don't know which. About, Hugh Jackman, he is just extremely multi-talented. That's why I say these actors that I've picked out are just really, I mean, you could watch them in anything and they'd be, and that's why I say Marco could learn so much from any one of them. This one would be, I think they're looking for, or they found a new Wolverine, because I don't know if he didn't want to do it anymore. Like, he is older, and it's not an easy role. I mean, you have to be very in shape, and get around, and there's lots of fighting, and I know it's fake, but still you have to have a lot of energy and a lot of strength, and or he just may be tired of doing it. I mean, he is a very multi-talented actor who's done a lot of different things. So anyway, I thought Marco could help him find a new Wolverine.
What does that mean?
Being in a movie about it.
There are other Wolverine, and now this is the unfortunate part. See, Safi, Marvel's trash, and especially the comics nowadays of Marvel, they might even be worse than the movies that they put out. And there are multiple other versions of Wolverine. Like there's a girl Wolverine.
Ew.
I think there's a black Wolverine.
That's okay, but a girl in it.
I think there's a gay Wolverine.
That's
they just keep on coming up with tokenized versions of these characters.
Oh well, forget that.
So they could just say, "Oh, well, we'll just cast I don't know, Michael B. Jordan as Wolverine, Part 2."
That would be okay. In fact, I was going to put him. I had him down as you working with him on some project. I didn't know anything about that. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a thing with the dry throat and coughing. Okay, and the next one is Daniel Bruhl. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. He's a German actor. He's done a lot of things, but he was in The Alienist. He plays the Alienist. And I thought Marco could be in an episode of The Alienist with him and that girl. Now, she's on her own list, so I won't even say who the girl is.
The wooden one.
The main character. And he would be helping him on a case. So I thought that would be good. My next one is Kyle MacLachlan. And this would be a new Twin Peaks movie.
Oh.
And where you come across a dead body. And there's a whole mystery involved with that. And all the Twin Peaks parts. And it would be all new, and there would be new weird actors, because if there aren't other weird actors around they may not be as weird as the ones who worked on the original Twin Peaks, but you can't tell me there's not some weird actors around.
So you're saying like a reboot almost?
No, not a reboot. A brand new, a whole new story line with some Twin Peaks type attributes. And I think it'd be fun if Marco was in that, because he really loved Twin Peaks, and it's very sad and upsetting that the original creator of Twin Peaks is letting everybody die off, so they can't ever do another episode or movie or anything. And Kyle MacLachlan is older, and I saw a picture of him. He has all gray hair, but that couldn't stop Marco from being fresh blood into the show, which it needs, and to help on the mystery and the whole, whatever it would be, of the new movie. My next one is, there are two of them together. It's Ted Levine, and Jason Ray Stanford, and they are the detective, Captain Stoudemire, and Randy Swisher, who were on Monk, and Marco would be in a new season of Monk.
What a cop-out, Safi.
And he would be helping to solve a case without Monk, because nobody can find him.
Oh.
And so he's not as good as Monk, because nobody's as good as Monk, because Monk is one of a kind. But he still does his best, better than that Jason, whatever that guy is, dressed like a clown.
Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander. And Marco would be a really good detective and really reliable, and wouldn't be in cahoots with his mother on trying to, what would you call it, manipulate a case to where he would solve it. It would be an up and up type of thing. It would be real, and he would be helping.
What would the case be?
I don't know. Okay, my next one is Christopher Mintz Pressa. Something like that. I couldn't read it, but he played in Superbad, and he was that young guy, and he is actually about Marco's big brother's age. And I think it'd be fun. He's been in a few things since then, and he is pretty good at what he does. And I think Marco would have fun working with him, and they would really get along. Be a nice collaboration. My next one is Owen Williams.
Owen Williams?
Owen Wilson, I'm sorry. And just to do some kind of a comedy.
Safi, go get a drink.
I want to keep going. Wes Bentley is my next one. And he was in a American Horror Story movie, and I thought it would be fun if he could play, Wes Bentley could reprise his role that he had in Freak Show, where he would come, I think it was at Halloween, and if people were performing on Halloween, he would take them to the I don't know, they would die and they would go to this other universe of hell or something.
No, it wasn't hell. It was just it was what they showed at the end.
What was that?
It was just like an endless like alternate dimension where like
they perform all the time, never get a break.
Well, no, it's just that's what their job is. Like they I guess.
I don't know, but anyway, I think Marco would enjoy working with Wes Bentley. He seems to be a really good actor. And then my next one is Zahn McClarnon. And Zahn McClarnon is a Native American who's been in a lot of different shows. He was in Fargo. He has really long hair, and he is older, but I think it would be good for Marco if he was in some kind of Native American show to do it maybe about the West or just working with Native Americans and to be around them and to see what he could learn from them, and I think it'd be a good experience.
Like a field trip?
No, like a good learning experience and a good job. My next one is John Turturro, and I don't know what he's doing lately, and he's older too, but I think it would be fun and a really good learning experience for Marco to work with him on a comedy or a movie, something, a drama, I don't know, because John Turturro is so good at, he was really good in Monk, and I mean, just perfect. And I think you would learn a lot from him. And I'm almost done. My next one is Jeff Bridges. Now, he is very much older, and he's kind of sick right now. He's going through cancer treatments. And he did a movie years ago about bowling. And I think it'd be fun if Marco did a movie about bowling with Jeff Bridges, about the bowling life, and something with that. Comedy, kind of slash drama, because Marco has spent his entire life just about bowling every year on a team. So he knows exactly what that's all about. And the reason why I was thinking about the bowling was because there was this Monk episode with the office. It was called Mr. Monk Goes to the Office or something, and they have a bowling league, and they go there and they have a tournament, and they talk about the shoes, and they show them bowling, and they all wear the same kind of shirt. And anyway, I was just thinking that would be great if Marco was in a movie. And Jeff Bridges is really good.
Well, what's the story?
Oh, I don't know. He's just been in a lot of, it would be a bowling episode, or bowling movie, and it would be about the bowling life, and something...
The bowling life.
And, yeah. But it would be good, because there'd have to be some things that happen to make it fun. Okay, the next one is, now this guy he's still like my older son's age, and a little bit older than Marco. It's Evan Peters, and he's the it guy of the universe right now, because he is such a good actor. He has been allowed by Ryan, what's his name, the director,
Papa Murphy's.
Yeah, Ryan Murphy. He's been allowed to play so many different parts, and just the weirdest, most, where you really have to stretch yourself out to play these roles. And he's learned a lot from doing that, I believe, and he's really developed into a really good actor. And I think it'd be fun for Marco to work with him, because they're closer to the same age. That's one benefit.
I think this is like the closest one that you picked.
Yeah, because most of these, well, the guy Mintz, he's about the same age.
Okay.
But the rest of these, like I said, they're a lot older. But this would be a guy, and he is really good. You could learn a lot from him, and it'd just be a really good experience to work with him. because he's so good.
What's the movie?
I don't know, Marco.
Why not?
I think it'd be a good horror story.
Oh.
And then my last one is Luke Wilson. He is the brother of Owen Wilson, and he's a comedian.
What about Patrick Wilson?
I don't know who that is.
You don't.
And then this would be a comedy.
Safi, you just saw Patrick Wilson in Bone Tomahawk.
I did?
Yeah, the guy with the bad leg. That's Patrick Wilson.
Oh, him? He's related to them?
Yeah, they're the Wilsons.
Oh, I didn't know
right?
that. I didn't know that.
Right?
I know Luke and Owen
right?
are related. I didn't know he was... He looked familiar. But you never see him with them. So anyway,
I don't know.
That was the last one of the guys.
I just figured because they're Wilsons.
Guys, actors, which really was not hard at all to pick.
Because you didn't even come up with stories for most of them.
No, I didn't because I couldn't, but for the women I did.
Uh-oh. Okay, so look out for part 2 tomorrow. I would say there were some pretty good choices. And there were a couple of questionable ones because, I don't know why Safi I would never be in a Marvel movie, ever.
Really?
Even for $1 million.
Well,
so
I just was thinking if you wanted to do some kind of weird, offbeat, like unrealistic comic book persona, that would be Marvel. And if you could do Batman, but since that dip,
I don't want to play Batman.
No, not you playing Batman, but doing a Batman movie. But since they have this dum-dum playing Batman right now, I wouldn't want to be in a Batman movie.
No.
That's why I didn't mention Batman. I'd rather be a Marvel movie and you go off in a different direction.
I'd rather just make a non-Marvel or DC comic book movie. But it would have to be a good comic book, and now there's really not any that are any good. Like they're all, they've been ruined. Safi?
Okay.
You're supposed to say goodbye.
So
this is
goodbye,
part 1.
everybody.
Bye.